Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're focusing on Manhattan's Billionaires Row, specifically one very tall, very white, and it turns out very troubled building.
That's right. We're talking about 432 Park Avenue.
Our mission is really to understand how this icon of luxury 432 Park went from a symbol of perfection to, well, a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
Cracks, swaying, huge repair bills.
It's a fascinating case. The building, it's that super tall 102-floor tower and you're 57th, almost 1,400 feet high.
And instantly recognizable because it's not glass, right?
Mhm.
It's this stark, absolutely pure white concrete. Very different, meant to be a jewel.
Exactly. Designed to stand out, pure geometry. But the irony, as you said, it's huge. Opened in 2015, and just a few years later, it's plagued with problems.
Hundreds of cracks, residents complaining it sways like crazy.
And costs mounting into the millions.
Yeah.
What our deep dive suggests is that this pursuit of aesthetic purity, particularly that white concrete color, might be the root cause of these pretty deep structural problems.
Okay, let's get into that. The vision came from the top, didn't it? Developer Harry Macklowe wanted something unique.
He did, and he brought in Raphael Vignoli, a star architect, who designed this very geometric, boxy tower.
And the inspiration story is kind of wild. Reportedly based on an Austrian designer's trash can.
Believe it or not, yes, an elegant, minimalist trash can. But translating that simple form into a super tall skyscraper, especially with that specific material demand, well, that's where the trouble started.
The concrete.
Yeah, the concrete. Getting that pure white meant messing with the standard mix. They had to reduce or change the iron oxides, which, normally give concrete its strength and gray color.
So they knew it was difficult.
Oh, definitely. Builders called it one of the trickiest concrete jobs ever. And worse, the warning signs were there, clear as day, years before it was finished.
What kind of signs?
Well, when they looked at the early concrete mock-ups, the engineers and architects saw flaws. Things called bug holes, basically cavities big enough for water to get in and, crucially, visible cracks, even in the samples.
Okay, so engineers see cracks. What do they suggest?
The logical thing, add fly ash. It's a common additive, makes concrete stronger, helps it cure. Standard practice, really.
But there's always a but.
But fly ash tends to make the concrete a bit darker, maybe slightly grayish. And the developers apparently said no. The color was too dark. It didn't fit the pure white vision.
Wait, they rejected a strengthening agent because of the color, with engineers warning about cracks.
That seems to be exactly it. There's even documentation. One engineer basically said, look, you've got two choices here, color or cracks.
Oh.
Another warned them point blank. Hold the pour until they have a valid mix. Otherwise, we will have future problems very painful to be solved.
And they just went ahead anyway.
They proceeded. The aesthetic won. They prioritized that look over the documented structural warning.
Incredible. So, okay, they build it. What was it like for the people who actually bought these multi-million-dollar apartments? The experience inside?
Well, first, you have to understand just how extreme the design is. Its slenderness ratio is 15:1. Think of a really tall, thin ruler.
Compared to, say, the Empire State Building.
Much thicker. The Empire State is about 3:1. So 432 Park is inherently more susceptible to, well, movement. It pushes everything to a limit, as engineers say.
Which explains the stories you hear from residents. People like J-Lo and A-Rod were early buyers, right?
Mm-hmm. And the complaints started rolling in, constant creaking noises keeping people awake, living rooms literally feeling like they creaked and swayed in the wind.
Not exactly relaxing.
Not at all. And then the mechanical system started failing. Elevators breaking down constantly. One empty elevator car apparently plummeted 40 stories.
Well, that's terrifying.
Absolutely. Plus burst pipes causing millions in water damage. An electrical issue that was so bad, residents had to decamp to the Four Seasons Hotel nearby. I mean, it's almost comical if it weren't so expensive and disruptive.
So beyond the internal chaos, the external problem, the cracking that's getting worse too.
Yes. The facade isn't just flawed, it's described now as pockmarked and gouged. There are new cracks showing up in load-bearing sections. Photos show spalled concrete, which means chunks are actually missing, and honeycombing, like internal voids, way up high.
This sounds serious, not just cosmetic.
Far from it. Independent engineers are saying the building is being stressed beyond what was intended. The combination of the wind forces on that slender structure and potentially that compromised concrete. It's a bad mix.
And the cost to fix it all.
It's staggering. Estimates start over $100 million, maybe climbing past $160 million. That's to fill cracks, reinforce things, potentially add a whole new protective layer.
Which brings us to the fight over how to fix it. Did they learn from the first time?
You'd think so, but history seemed to repeat itself. Consultants recommended a proper fix, an elastomeric coating. It's like a thick, rubbery paint that seals cracks and stretches. Robust protection.
Okay, sounds sensible.
But it would have changed the look slightly, maybe added a bit of a sheen. And that clashed with the original pure matte aesthetic.
Not
Yep. Instead, Mr. Macklow himself apparently suggested a clear coat finish, something like what he uses to patch his racing yacht.
a yacht sealant for a 1,400-foot skyscraper. Seriously.
That was the suggestion. Ultimately, they did choose a clear sealant, going against the recommendation for the thicker, more protective coating.
Unbelievable. No wonder there are lawsuits.
Oh, yeah. The condo board is suing the developers, basically saying they sold defective apartments and tried to hide the problems. The developers are firing back, blaming the board for poor maintenance. It's messy.
But beyond the residents and developers, what about the rest of us? Down on the street.
That's where the warnings get really chilling. Independent engineers are concerned about the degradation. If it continues, if the spalling gets worse...
Spalling meaning chunks falling off.
Exactly. They warn that as the building flexes, chunks of concrete will fall off. One expert used the phrase concrete hand grenades, potential danger for pedestrians below.
Good heavens.
And the long-term risks, some engineers worry, is the building eventually becoming uninhabitable.
Wow. And the residents themselves, are they united on this?
Not entirely. They spent $2.5 billion collectively on these units, but now they're arguing over legal fees, rising common charges, even debating whether to prioritize fixing the facade or tackling alleged mismanagement like a multi-million-dollar renovation of the private restaurant.
So division even among those directly affected.
It seems so. The whole saga, really, from rejecting fly ash years ago to arguing over coatings now, it just hammers home how that initial obsession with pure white aesthetics seemed to override basic engineering caution.
It's a stark illustration of the risks when ambition, especially aesthetic ambition, isn't grounded in, well, reality.
Absolutely. It really pushes the question of limits in skyscraper tech, in the luxury market that demands these unique statements.
A truly spectacular failure, born from vanity. It really makes you think.
It does. And perhaps that resident quote sums it all up best, reflecting on the whole situation.
The taller the building, the longer the shadow.